Hello, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button. Oh, hold on, I've got the sun in my eyes. Let's just move that. Hello, how are you? Hope you're all well. I'm getting there. I've had another weekend that's been very boring. I'm just resting and a little bit of craft, tiny bit of housework, not a nearly amount that needs doing, but we're on top of the washing. That's a win. There's clean things for people to wear and sleep on. Yeah, that's a win. Anyway, and the dishwasher's been done and it's been wiped down. You know what I mean? It's just not... yeah. But housework's boring. We are leaving October behind. I will talk about more about that next week when I have a video where I just talk through my plans. I need to see if I saw something at work that would be a bit of rubbish, and I want to see if it's still there tomorrow, and if it is, I will be very excited. But that's junk journaling. This is slow stitching. We're going to make robins because we're leaving October behind, and we're going to think about Christmas and making handmade things for Christmas. And there's nothing more Christmassy. Well, in the UK, I don't know what it is like in other countries, but in the UK, like for me, robins are very Christmassy, and the secret garden, which is all seasons. And robins are all seasons, actually. They sort of live in our back gardens, and they're very cheeky. They'll come up while you're pegging your washing out outside and sort of have a chat around you. When we braai or barbecue, in our old house in Cambridge, we had this very friendly little chap who would often come and have a chat to us whilst we were barbecuing. So, robins. We like a robin. And they're very easy to make. I mean, this is very naive. It's very simple, but I guarantee you can make it. You don't even need to download a template. We'll have a go at drawing the template because it's just a few shapes. You'll be able to do it, and if you've got a pen and a piece of paper or a pencil and a piece of paper, you just keep drawing it until you feel like you've got the right shape. So it's just basically per side. I'm doing double side for this, and we might not finish all of them. I might just make one from scratch, and I've just shown you this is the reverse because I plan on making a little hanging decoration for my Christmas tree in the dining room, which has a lot of handmade things on. So the other tree has, because I have two trees, the other tree has lots of robins on it, and it's robin themed because I'm a bit robin obsessed, but they're little sort of fake robins that are on that. There's not really anything that's handmade on that tree. The garlands and things that I've made and the picks and things like that are handmade, but nothing obviously handmade, whereas my dining room tree has little collections of things and it does have handmade pieces in it. So I might do a little tour about that and show you my pretty shelves as well. So yeah, let's make robins, shall we? It's so easy. It's so easy, and they'll become a little bit addictive. So I'm going to show you what my resources are. You might have different resources. So I do have some felt. It's not to hand, but it's like wool coating felt that I'm going to make some gingerbread men, because that's coming too. That I got from a neighbour. I'll tell you that story when we do the gingerbread men. So you could use felt. You could use anything. Literally anything. Old sweatshirts, old jumpers, anything that's the right colours. Now, I do have some Christmas material, like a fat quarter of Christmas material, that sat in my stash since before the pandemic. And I don't know why I didn't think about using it to make robin redbreasts before, but there we go. And then I found, so I'm using sample books because I'm at the bottom of my sample book. I've got some velvet ribbon in case we want to put a loop on that. So this is the plain, kind of really heavy duty upholstery fabric that's come from my sample books. And I am really at the bottom of my sample books. I've made so many things with those sample books. I need to get more because they're just such a really valuable resource. So, you know, find your materials from anywhere. They don't have to be particularly what I'm using. This is what I have in my stash. But like I said, it could be an old jumper. Go to the charity shop and find a brown jumper. Or 2 brown jumpers of slightly different colours. Or 2 brown t-shirts. And then the same with, like, find a red t-shirt. You just need red. I'm moving these things to the side because we're going to make, let me get a piece of printer paper. I'm going to show you how I made my template. So I used a piece of cardboard from an Amazon package, and yeah, I just sort of drew on it until I got what I wanted, and then I made a pattern, which I will probably, this will get put away and it will be brought out again if I ever need to make something. They make great little presents for people that you don't really want to, it's going to sound awful, you don't really want to buy anything. No, it's that there's no point buying them anything because they have everything. Or, you know, it's just a little you know, when all that's required is a little gesture. Or somebody might like to have something different to put on their Christmas tree every year. I always try to buy like one nice thing that adds to my Christmas tree, because even though it's all very robin and it's all very red and gold and very traditional, I like it to be a little bit eclectic. So there'll be something I buy that I'll put, you know, somewhere. You know, so it could be that kind of a thing. You could make it into a key ring. Robins are also, I don't know if in other parts of the world, they're also sort of kind of like a bird of grief, sort of comforting grief, so that, you know, like if somebody's recently passed away, you could possibly, you know, on an anniversary or that first Christmas, you know, get a little robin, a little robin decoration, just to give that little subtle nod to the grief, really. I don't really know how else to say that. But anyway, we're going to draw our robin. So this is going to have lots of lines on it because I'm not going to get it right first time. But basically it's a U shape with some bits added onto the top. So I'm going to draw a shape like that. And then I'm going to draw a beak. And then I'm going to draw a head. And then I'm going to, because it'll be easier to sew if there's a curve. And then do that. So the only really tricky bit too, if and we're not sewing them right sides together, it's all wrong sides together if you were making 2 of them. So you don't have that trying to turn that out. I mean, you could if you're using a thinner material, but you know, I'm not. I'm using thicker material. So that's that. Now, my beak looks a bit strange. I think that needs to be a bit fuller. And you just sort of fuss around with it. That's better. Make that more curved. That can come up here and be a bit more like that. You can see it's that U shape. There we go. So now you've got your basic shape, and you know, you draw that as big or as small as you want it to be. You cut that out, and then you would trace, so like on your piece of paper, you would trace the breast bit out like that, and then just make like an elliptical shape, and then that would go on there, and that would be the breast shape. Now the wing, just a rounded triangle or a teardrop. And you cut all those pieces out and you play with it until you're happy, and then that's your pattern. And you can make it smaller or bigger, but that's basically your pattern. It's not anything really complicated. In fact, I was thinking about that when we make the bunnies. Because we're going to make bunnies in the spring. I'm going to be a bit more ambitious. and I was like, do I? Because I made some with no pattern, because I actually bought a little bunny toy for my daughter that I tied onto the side of her car seat, and I really loved it, and it was patchwork and cotton and really soft and lovely, and I took the pattern off that bunny. So I think I'm going to be doing something like that for those, and they'll be a bit more naive and perhaps not. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that's next year. I'm still a bit brain addled, but that's your pattern. And then we're going to use the smaller patterns. I've just dropped the pattern behind me, and we're going to cut one out and sew it, I think, just to do it from scratch. So we've got our colours here. We're going to do a bigger one or a smaller one. Let's do a smaller one. So this is my Robin 2, I've called it. So that's a wing. So have I got a breast for this one? Yes, I do. So you can see here, in fact, let's get that black pen back out. I'll draw around the outside. There we go. Just in case it's not very visible, because it's all brown on brown. It's really, really simple. So I like this red colour, so let's cut this bit out first, because it'll be the easiest bit. I stuck labels onto presents on the advent calendars that I'm hopefully still have time to set up that Etsy shop. Like I said, I've set it up. It has a name. It's just the payment and working out the postage and all of that I need to sort out, which I think I need the other half's help with, just because I need another pair of eyes on it. So I'll have to get him to come in for that. Right, so we have that bit. Put that bit back. We don't need that. Now, fabrics. It's a bit pale. I quite like, there's this like tweed. I quite like that, but I don't think I want that for the main body. I think I like that for the wings. What do we think? What do we think? Is that different enough? I think that's different enough. Okay. And there's nothing precise about any of this. It's all very much like, I'm not even going to pin this on. It's just nothing precise about it. It's a real sort of mindless, you don't have to think. Once you get yourself in your groove and you've worked your little pattern out and you know what you're going to do, you can just sit and merrily trim things out and make your little Robin. There's his wing. Put that back. Let's get him out. Now I'm going to use this paper to my advantage, just because this bit I don't want it to fray. Be a bit mindful of that when you're choosing your material. I do hope I can hear somebody drilling next door. The house next door is up for sale. Which was very interesting, seeing the asking price. So I was like, that's quite good. It's in a similar condition, because this is very much a doer-upper, our little house. That I don't think, because it kind of needs lots of work doing to it. And if we were like younger, and this was going to be our home, you know, for a good 20 odd years, I think it probably would be worth us sort of like, it needs an attic putting on it, like a loft extension. is that a loft extension or a loft conversion? But we're going to be here for another 5 years maximum. When we renew, oh no, it's not, it's going to be more like 6.5 years. We'll renew the mortgage again, I think, for another 5, and then after that, when it comes to that being up, that's when we'll be like, are we going to move up north? Because the mortgage will be really nearly paid off by then. Anyway, I don't know why I told you that. I'm just waffling. So we also need a button. Will you do? Yes, you will do. Nice big brown eye. So yeah, so I don't know what they're doing with the house next door, but they continue to be doing things up. I'm really glad about one thing. There was like a tree growing out the side of the gable end, in a terrace. So like, if you know, something like a joining like that would have a big impact on this room actually. And I was like, oh, you better sort that out, or I'm gonna be hassling people. Like, kinda, and they sorted it out because they put it on the market. So I'm all happy about that. Okay, so we're just going to use one kind of thread, and I think I did have a needle in here. I did. It was kept in one of the robins. It's one of my vintage threads. I have a bajillion vintage threads because I just find them out in the wild. I think we'll 4-time it because I want the thread to be nice and thick. There's some sharper ones than the pink ones, but I don't know how sharp they are. Hold on a minute. I get my shears and just cut this thread. There we go. Here we go. That's a nice bit of a contrast to it. And these are, so I'm just going to do, literally sew this because I think, you know, like I said, you can put a back on it that could be plain. They can be pliqued. You could make like all kinds of things once you've got this little basic thing down. And they're just really simple. Really, really simple. I might try and do like a fairy or an angel as well, because we'll have gingerbread man. I don't know, we'll see. Christmas trees. I don't know if I have much green fabric. I'll have to have a, I think I've got green Christmassy fabric. Do I have green? It's not really an interior design colour. I think it's going to come in this year. I need to paint my kitchen cupboards and sort of just give them a lift, and we need to do a lot of painting in our house. Basically that's all the doing up we're going to do, is sort of splash some Farrow and Ball type colours around. And we need to replace some windows and stuff. That's a bit pricey, and the bathroom. So yeah, there's loads we have to do in that 7 years before we could get it to a place where it will be attractive for a first time buyer. It'll be somebody from Cambridge who wants to buy a freehold rather than all the leaseholds that are being built currently. And they're young and they think, oh, we want a house that we can move into, but you know, needs a bit of work. That's our, because houses like that in Cambridge are now like hen's teeth. I mean, that's why we ended up here, basically. You can't get it for less than $500,000. Which is just shocking, really. But there we go. then. So as you can see, it's not hard and it's really quick. I'm back stitching it just because in fact I should just running stitch it. I back stitch because that's my go-to stitch. It's like the stitch I'm comfortable with, and it's the stitch where I kind of lose myself in the stitching is when I'm doing a back stitch. It's actually probably the most useful stitch you can learn because it's the strongest hand sewing stitch next to like you know, the next thing would be a machine stitch really, just because it pulls the tension all on itself. So if I was making a garment, like all the garments that you would, you know, all, if you imagine like all those amazing old dresses and stuff would have been sewn structurally with a back stitch. Go, and then we've got our wing shape. What way? We're having it like that. Yeah. Where am I? Let's just weave this backwards, and it doesn't have to be this neat on your back, but it just would be easier. I don't know if I'm in shot. So I need to do a bit of a tidy in this room. I got a load of things out to finish the advent calendar for you guys, like all my boxes. I have like a little craft store within my craft room, and on the landing, sort of just outside of the door of the craft room, there are also some billy bookcases just to house most of the haberdashery section, or there's some antique stuff in here and whatever I've got out on the bed. And there's also like a big bookcase that's just full of junk journal books that I found out in the wild. I've kind of I did a lot of treasure hunting over the summer. We had like lots of little jollies out in the car, and if we were going anywhere, so say we were going to a town near us, which is like Bury St Edmunds, I'd be like, can we go through the villages, because there's lots of these like red telephone library boxes, library places. Now, like, I should take books and leave them there. I wouldn't take a book that would be useful for something else. So like, I'll take an old map book or an old like atlas that, you know, like children wouldn't be able to use it as a reference because all the countries are all wrong, or yeah, or they've got water damage, or it's a gardening book that's full of pesticide information. Those types of things are what I get from there. And then charity shops, which are very expensive where I live, but you can get some fantastic, I've had some fantastic bargains as well. And there is one charity shop where sometimes I can get things for free, and that's just because it's helpful for them to get them out of the shop. I do apologise if you can hear that noise. Got a bit of a knot there. So yeah, I kind of I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, I did, you know, lots of treasure hunting around various places. Tesco, if you're in the UK, I don't know if your Tesco local supermarket has like a charity book shelf, and I don't know what it is about the one here, but I've had some cracking books. I've had like books in Russian, books in French. I've had 4 at separate occasions, like 2 lots of 2 flower arranging books from the 70s that are just amazing. All kinds of stuff, really, really cool stuff. And it's just pennies. I just like put 50p in per book. That's all you need. You don't, you know. So even there, I was like, every time we were going to Tesco, I was stopping by that bookshelf and buying a few books. And you'd be amazed at how quickly. So now I've got like a floor to ceiling Billy bookcase, and then I've got a few more shelves in here that are books. And so I just thought, I need to slow it down. I don't think I need this many. Not yet, anyway. Or not, you know, like I need to use some up before I go and get some more. So that's what I'm doing. Trying to sort of build my stash up in different ways. So now it's fabric. I need to find a replacement for all the fabric samples that I've used up. I've got some antique bits and pieces. Just really, I need to do something with antique bits. Like I've got some lovely silk, and the colours have run. It wasn't colour fast at the antique dealer, so they gave me like this great big piece for not really a lot, and I haven't done much with it other than I snip it off, give it to people, or I might use it in junk journaling. And it might be, because I don't know how, it's silk and so it is quite fragile. It would just be sort of, you wouldn't be able to make anything integral with it. But yeah, so here we go. It's got his little body, his little wing. He's going to come alive now when we put his big eye. It's a bit big, that eye. I've got these smaller ones. I don't think I did. What did I do with those black buttons? I think I put them all in here. I had a little pot with black buttons in. I think it's in with the gingerbread man stuff. You might have to just have a really big eye. Oh, what's that one? It's a grey eye. What if it's that way? Oh, we might be winning. Hold on. Oh, it's the same one. What are you? Oh, you're sort of a in between. Let's do that one. So yeah, I've got loads of stuff behind me that just needs sorting out. I'm going to have to cut the cotton off this because it's come off a garment. Yeah. So I'm still, like, health wise, I am getting there, but it's sort of incremental. And I can feel now, like, it's when I get really tired, it's like somebody unplugs me. I can feel I'm getting to that. It's like somebody's literally just taking the plug out. But also, like, I get the symptoms I got when the virus, the COVID was coming on, which is earache. So I get the beginnings of an earache, and which is like a little bit worrying. I'm not COVID positive or anything. I think it's just the way it lingers. Be interesting, sewing through paper. So this could be you're making a gift bag, because we're going home hopefully if I can get somebody to watch the cat that I trust, because we paid for a cat sitter in the summer, and yeah, I didn't really trust that she was actually coming every day, let alone twice a day that we paid her for. So that's a bit worrying. So I need a neighbour, but I've not had the chance. In the UK, we don't talk to our neighbours every day. We should do, but it's just having the opportunity. We don't. I think because we work from home as well. So yeah, I wanna ask the neighbours on this side not the side that's being sold, the other side. They've got a little boy as well. So I thought, well, if they do, I'll get him a present and put it under the Christmas tree, because they don't celebrate Christmas. So I thought that'd be nice. Something a bit different. Let's see if I can peel all that off actually, except for around that beak. Keep that beak not fraying. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that could be appliqued onto a bag, a tote bag, to sort of make it, you know, make a Christmassy tote bag. I'm just sort of giving it a bit of a more definite trim. You could get, when you applique it onto the bag, you could get like some orange thread and make a more definite beak. Yeah. There we go. There's our little robin fella. So you could like get another, like a plain backing, like a denim backing would be nice. And make like a padded one that could be a tree hanger or a keychain, or you could do the same thing in reverse, like I think I did with, where is it? This one, the beginnings of that one, and just like put some of the stuffing in, get a bit of ribbon, put a loop, and then that could become something. Or actually, I mean, I was thinking I don't even need that for my tree, because they just sort of sit, they kind of nestle in, and they don't need a hanger. So yeah, this one's going to go in the dining room tree. I don't know what's going to happen with that one, but he's quite jolly, isn't he? And you can see there's different shapes there. Like I could probably make it a little bit more birdie. You just play with that template until you're really happy with the paper template. So there we go. So I've done some seed stitching there as well. Actually, I've done some different stitching. It's because I think this stuff was really fraying but badly. But you could play around with your stitches and do some different types of stitching. Yeah, you could. We'll do some more sophisticated type birds moving in, using like our junk journaling supplies basically in slow stitch to make some more sophisticated birds. And I think I have another robin idea as well. There's both a junk journal and a slow stitch one that will do, excuse me, in a couple of weeks. I also want, so this is a little bit plans, but I want to do a Christmas stocking that's in the same way to the, because it's still on this bed somewhere, I didn't see it. This bed is just piled up with orderly piles, but piles of stuff. So I want to do a stocking, but sort of in this vein, as a new stocking for my daughter, because she's had the same stocking since she was like a toddler. Probably not going to make it as big as hers, because her stocking was quite big, because they don't, when they get older, she'll be 17 in January, they don't need all the, they need like less bulk, more expense. But there you go. So yeah, so we're going to do that, something similar. Might put a robin on it. There you go. That's another idea. She said yawning. Put them on a Christmas stocking. We might do that. We might add one to a Christmas stocking. So there you go. I hope you liked it. I enjoyed doing it, spending some time with you. I am going to do a flip through of a junk journal now, because that worked out well last week, so that I don't have to worry about that for tomorrow. And then we might skip Tuesday, and on Wednesday, hopefully, we'll see how my week goes, I will be talking through my plans for going up to Christmas and the rest of the year. She said yawning. How am I going to do another video? I'm going to get all my yawns out of the way. But yeah, I'm quite excited. So that does mean we're going to leave some things behind. or we're going to put a pause on some things and revisit them at other times in the year next year, because I kind of do want to do, there's like things I want to do, and I don't want to feel like I've got too much on my plate. So I think it's okay that, you know, like basically the journal we started in October, because I feel like October's a bust and I haven't done nearly as much crafting as I would do, not just for the camera but like for myself, and that normally wouldn't be an issue, but because of the channel I feel that I need to kind of carry on seasonally. It just feels that's the right thing to do. So that means that the lovely Wise Lady journal, I'm going to put it on pause, but that means next year we can pick it up similar time in the autumn time, and that work's already done, and I'm okay with that, because these are not, you know, the only linear journals I do are Junk Journal July journals. The rest are all very much I pick it up and put it down. I do tend to have one journal on the go at a time, but then I do have other journals that like this one, for example, is a couple of years old, and I pick it up and I put it down and I find bits for it. So I think it's going to become like that, and then we'll be accessing it as and when we need to as the year goes on. But I'll talk about more about that in my plans video. Why am I talking about that now? You don't want to know about that. You're slow stitchers. You've probably switched off. We still have the competition open, and it closes on Halloween, really, or All Saints Day, the 1st of November, and then we'll do a draw at some point after that, for this beautiful Junk Journal Slow Stitch Advent Calendar, which is all finished now, and I just need to make the box. And there's a little thing I want to put in, like a card. Yeah. And I did all of the little labels like that. So I cut out, how many? 125 labels out this morning, which wasn't arduous. I just sort of sat and watched TV and did it. So yeah, loads of things on the go. But if you want to win that, subscribe to the channel, like and comment on this video, and then we will be running up to the end of it pretty soon. My husband has a way of capturing the names off the videos, and then I'm just going to put them in a bag and draw out the names, and I'll let you know who it is. I don't think you do. You want to watch me do that? I don't think it's necessary. And then I'll announce the winner. But then I've got some other things up my sleeve that I think that I might try for everybody to have a freebie at some point before Christmas, or like before December basically, because I'm going to have a look through my antique stuff and see if I can do some scanning, make a little thing for you. They're printables, but I know not everybody has a printer, but you might know somebody with a printer, and I think that's the easiest way of getting something to everybody to say thank you, because I appreciate you all. I'm going to go now and get my journal and do my last video. Thank you very much. You're amazing. I enjoyed doing all the comments this morning. I went through and just replied. It's very encouraging. And I will talk to you in the comments. And you will see the next video on Monday, but I'm going to film it now. Okay. Bye bye.